Thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable Whimsy Stamps image called Jenny. Isn't she cute? I just love her. She's got that cute little bird. Perfect for all your Christmas or winter cards. I included this, I made this little sentiment on my computer and I could put that in the kit, but you could make her something besides Christmas if you wanted. Use your very own sentiment here and make it wintertime. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, make sure and leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image, and we're going to use C00, and she's got a little space right here between her legs. I'm going to color that in, and then I'm going to go right next to this pom-pom. And then we're going to go around her scarf. And you can make your line as thick or as skinny as you want. And since there's only that little bitty stripe left for mine, I'm going to go ahead and color that in. And work our way around over to the other side. I like to do my outlining first, so that way, if in case I touch the girl, I can erase it. And I don't have to worry about touching all the other colors I've already colored and bleeding them out into my background. I just like the little shadow the outlining gives it too, so it looks like it's little kind of popping off the page a little bit, not so flat. And we'll go around her cute little curls here. And we're going to work our way up this hair. She's got some great little pigtails and curly hair. Let's see here. Let's go this way so I can see what I'm doing. And we'll go around this one. And here I'm going to give this a little bit of shadow in there because I think that one is standing up over the others. And then same for in here. I'm going to make this background. And then this right here is going to be background. Just going to work our way back down to her boot. So let's give her a little bit of snow down here. For that I'm going to use BG 000 and quadruple 0. I'm going to start with my BG 000. I'm just going to use these lines that are already here as my guide. And I'm also going to flick just a little bit away from her boot. I'll go underneath these. Same for over here. Flick away from that boot. And as long as I got this out, I'm going to color these dots too. And there's a couple right over here. And then for the snow, I'm going to take my BG quadruple 0. I'm just going to go right over the top of the last color and just go a little bit past so that it'll soften the edge. And then, I didn't do that, but you could put some glitter or something down here under her feet to make it all sparkly. That would be really pretty. So for her skin, we're going to use E21, 51, and 50 today. And for her cheeks, we're going to use E93. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my E21. And I'm going to do a little flick along her neck right here. Like that. Just a little bitty one. We can get a little bit closer here. There. Whoops. Focus up. There we go. Alright, so then I'm going to go right next to this little pom-pom, or a little ear muff. And we're going to go around her hair. And then we're going to come over here onto this curl. And then I didn't go clear to the end of the curl. I'm going to come back on the little pointy part and then come over here and bring it down to where her eye is. Then we're going to get E51. And for this, we're going to flick away. I'm going to fill in that little spot where her hair is. And we're just going to flick, flick, flick here into the center. And then I also want to add some to the bottom of her face. So let's flick, flick, flick up here. And back around to her little eye there. Then I'm going to grab E50. I'm going to fill in her neck. And then I'm going to flick a little bit more on her eye. And then I'm going to add some cheek color with E93. And a little bit over here on this eye. Then I'm going to go again with my E21. And then we'll add a second coat of our E51. Go clear around. And then we'll take our E50 to go clear across and fill it all the way in. And I think I'll grab my E93 again and give these cheeks just a little bit more pink. And then my E50 over that a second time just to soften the edges. For her hair, I'm going to use E44, 43, 42, and 41. I'm going to start with my E44, and let's start over here on this little curly Q right here. So this is kind of inside, so I'm going to color the inside there, and then this swirls around, so I'm going to give this a little stripe, and this one comes out, so let's give that a stripe. And then where this one folds behind her earmuff, let's give that a little bit. Same with this one. And this one right here, it's on the inside. And then for these up here, let's continue on up here. So let's give this a little dab of color. And then we're going to do these two. Like that. And how about this little curly one right here? And these look like they're folded underneath, so I'm going to give that a little slash of color. And then right here where it dips in, let's give that a little bit of shadow. And then we'll do these. And here's underneath, so I'm going to color that. And then we want to do a little bit next to her headband, so let's go right along this headband. A little dab there. And then we're going to bring it out just a little bit more, so it's not a straight line. And then let's go ahead and do this side of the headband. Color that spot that's in the back, just color that in. And then I also need to add a little bit to the part here so it looks like it's coming off of this line. Like that. Okay, and how about these little curly cues over here in her hair? So let's do this one. And then we'll do a little bit on that one. And there's the back of that one, so I'm going to do that. And then this one right here, it's coming from behind. We're going to give that a little dab of color. And then this one's going behind this one, so let's do this one a little bit. And then, of course, this one's curled, so let's do this side. And then let's curl this side, like that. Okay, what else we got going here? Let's see, this one over here looks like it's coming from behind, so let's do a little dab right up here. And this one looks like it's behind, so I'm going to give that a little dab. And let's see, I'm going to go with those O's up there. This one right here looks like it's coming from behind. And this one right here, you got to just kind of work your way around and add a little bit of dark wherever you would like it to go. And I'm also going to do this little section right here. That. I kind of just wing it and go with where I think it's going to dip in and dip out. And just add a little bit of dark on there. Alright, then let's go up here and we'll do the top of this piggy tail. Okay, so I'm going to make this, she's got a little ponytail holder there, so you want to leave this little band right here. And then remember I made that little space there background, so I'm going to do this one. That, and I think I will bring these down just a little bit more. So it kind of curves around with the, where the hair is going. That. And then let's do these bangs. So for her bangs, she's got a little bit right back here that's in the very back, so I'm going to color that all the way in. And same for this little dab of color, or little dab of hair right there. And then I want to come away from this headband. And just swipe a little bit of this color in here. Work our way across. Clear over to this section. And these right here, I'm going to go up. Okay, there's our dark. So now let's go with E43. So we're going to add a little dab of that to right next to our E44. It goes a little bit faster, this color, because you've already put all the dark on there, so you just kind of go right along and add a little bit more. Pigtail. Work our way up here, and let's see, let's make this come around over this way. Up here, and then we got to do these cute bangs. Okay, there's a pretty good for the second color. So now let's go with E42. I'm going to fill in these cute little pigtails down here, and then we're going to add a little bit more color up here. And work our way over to the other side. And a little bit down here on her bangs. And now I want to go over the whole thing with my E41. And even though I already colored this in, I want to still go over it because I'll be able to smush some of those colors together and soften them. And work our way up here. Okay, then I like to go back with my E44 and just put a little bit of that dark back in. So let's go back through. And just pick some, add a couple little streaks in there. Work our way over to the other side. Let's do a little bit right in here. And I try to keep my streaks a little bit smaller, so I try to do just little lines. And then we're going to go back over these little sections that didn't get any other color. Ponytail. Oh, and her little bangs over here. Let's do those. Since we have the browns out, let's hop over here and do this little seed bag right here. For that, we're going to use E44, 43, and 42. So let's do a little dab of our E44 right along the top of the sack on the inside, and then a little bit coming up away from her hand. Then we're going to add E43. I'm going to go ahead and cover in the inside of the sack, and then we'll add a little bit more down here. And then we'll fill it in with our E42. Okay, and we're going to also use E43, 42, and E93 for our bird. So let's go with our E43 first. And we're going to do a little dab on his tail and his wing. He's got a little wing over here. And then let's do his belly. And then for his face, I'm going to go along the hat. And then I'm going to brush a little bit away from the side there. Then I'm going to fill him in the rest of the way with E42. And then I'm going to give him a little bit of color on his cheeks with E93 and his belly. So next, let's do the hair ponytail holder, some stripes on the scarf, and the little bird's hat. For that, we're going to use Y26 and Y23. Let's do the little bird's hat real quick with our Y26. So I'm just going to give it a little dark right over here on this side. And then I'm going to fill it in the rest of the way with my Y23. Nothing hard with that one. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to do some of these stripes. So let's do this one, and I've grabbed Y26 again. And then this one. And here's one. And then this one over here on this side. And then we're going to fill those in with our Y23. And then we'll hop up here and do our ponytail holder. So grab your Y26 again. And we're going to bring that around from the bottom and up here. And then Y23. Let's do some stripes on our scarf with BG 13, 11, and 10. I'm going to start with my BG 13, and let's do this one here with the little drops on it. I'm going to try to not color the drops, but if you do, you can still go back and take your colorless blender and erase that. Dab right here, and then this one right next to the yellow one. I think I'll go around that dot there. And then we're going to do this upper portion of her scarf. So let's do this little section right here that's kind of underneath of her hand. And then for up here in the top, I'm going to color the inside. So right here and right here. Uh-oh, that is her coat, so I'm gonna have to erase that. Don't color this. No good, Heather. Okay, so now we're gonna do, this is her scarf. I'll come down this line here. And then over here on this one, let's do a little bit coming away from her neck. That. And then we'll give this one a little bit of a line coming in right here. And then bring this one down and come in a little bit like that. So let me grab my colorless blender here. Where did I put it? Right here. And let's see if we can do something with this little mistake. So I'm just going to push that back towards this green scarf. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. I'll come back. Okay, so now I'm going to go with BG 11. So we're just going to add a little bit more color to our little scarf down here. And then this one. And then this section. Go around that little dot. And we're going to bring this around her hand. That. And then we're going to go up here. Bring this color around this way. Okay. Let me grab my colors blender again since that's dry. Let's give it a little bit more wet there. And then I think I'm just going to leave it like that after it dries, but we'll see. Okay, so now let's add BG 10. Up here, we're going to be careful going around this flower. As I left that flower white, you could color it yellow, I guess, to go with the other parts of the scarf. And then we want to color this. And down here around this little dot. So for the rest of the scarf, we're going to use W4, 2, and 0. And let's grab our W4 first. And we're going to do that one right along the edge here. And then we're going to do right along the edge down here. And we're just going to work our way back up. And this right here kind of folds underneath. So we definitely want to add a little bit of this back here. And I'll probably give that a second coat just because it's behind. And we'll come up here on our little bump. And then this little one right here. And we're going to add W2. Again, I try to avoid the dot, but if you get it on there, it's okay, because you can erase that with your colorless blender. And let's try to skip that flower. And then we're going to fill it in the rest of the way with our W0. And then I'm going to grab my W4 and I'm going to give this back section another little dab of color here. So I make it extra dark. For the purple, we're going to use V99, 95, 93, and 91. I'm going to start with my V99 up here on her headband. So I'm going to do that. Just little dabs down here towards the bottom. And we definitely don't want to touch any of those dots with our pen now because that will not erase. And then we're going to do a little bit right here next to her hair. And then I'm going to grab V95. And then we'll give this section down here a little dab. And then we'll add a little dab of our V93. And let's go around this flower. Oops, I got a little bit on that one, so I'll take our colors blender, we'll erase that here later. And we got V91 to fill that in. And let's see what I do with that colors blender. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm just going to dab that on these little flower petals that I got some color on, because I'm again going to leave those white. Okay, and let's hop down here and we will do her gloves. So grab your V99 again, and for this glove here, let's do a little bit next to the fur of her jacket and down along the bottom, and then I'm going to do a little bit right here underneath of his wing, on his body. Then we're going to add V95. And she's got some birdseed there in her hand, so I'm going to try not to color that. V93. and then V91 to fill that in. That bird seed, let's grab Y23 real quick and just dab that on there. And I'm going to give his beak a little dab of that color too, before I forget about it. Okay, let's hop over here and do the other glove. So again, grab your V99. And I'm going to do that along the bottom half. And then we'll add a tad of our V95. And then V93. And then V91 to fill that in. All right, let's see. Let's hop down here and do her pants. So V99, and we're going to do that in the center. And then let's also do these stripes on her boots. Then we're going to add V95. And then V93. And then we'll fill it in with our V91. Okay, little pom-pom. So again, start with your V99. And for this pom-pom, we're going to go right along the edge there. And then we'll add a dab of our V95. I'm going to fill this one in with my V93. And then I'm going to go over this one with V91. That leaves us with her jacket. Okay, V99. So up here on this little section that I tried to color green, we're going to color that in. I guess I didn't have to worry about erasing it since I've made it so dark anyway. And let's go right here next to the scarf. And I'm going to give this a little wrinkle right here. So give that a little dab of color to pull away. And then for her jacket, let's go down the sleeve of her jacket, across the bottom. And she's got a little crease right here, so I'm going to give that a little color. And let's do a little dab down here on the bottom of her coat. Okay, then let's see, how about over here on this side of her coat? So on this side of her coat, like that. A little dab over here and underneath of her arm. That. And then for her sleeve, let's do from this little bump right here along the bottom edge. And then this crease. That. And we're going to do a little dab right here. Alright, for a hood, let's do a little dab coming out from behind this. And then let's do the curve of the inside of her jacket. And I'm going to do a little dab coming away from this side, but it's kind of dinky, so make sure to just do the very tip of your pin. And then here's a little wrinkle. And here's a little wrinkle. All right, so let's grab V95. And we just want to add a little bit of color to all of these, to the last V99. I'm just going to go right along here. And I think I'll do this one just a little bit here, maybe a little bit coming down from up here. I'm just going to work our way along. I'm going to fill in this little inside of her coat there. And let's do a little dab coming away from this a little bit more. And then we're going to add V93. Oops, let me grab, I forgot to do her little coat here, or her sleeve, so let's do V95 again. Do a little bit of that in here. And then we need to soften these lines. And let's go down the back of her sleeve. And then down here to soften this edge. Now, let's do V93 on that. Then we're going to go over the whole thing with our V91. And be careful going along the edge here. I don't want to touch that fur. Scrub on here. So that leaves us with the fur. For that, we're going to use C1 and C0. Let's go up here and we'll do her little earmuffs first. So I'm going to do C1, and I'm just going to do a few little dots right along the edge of her face there. And then for this one, I'm going to do a few little dots right over here where her hair is touching, or drooped over the side. That. And for her sleeve, I'm going to do a little, I'm just going to put some color right here underneath of her sleeve. And then we're going to do some dots. Same for this side. Oh, and the little bird's got fur too, so let's do him. Alright, then we got her little round here on the bottom of her coat. I've just do a few little dots down here and over here. And then for her boots, we're going to do the inside with some dots. And I'm going to do a few right here along the edge of that crease in her boot, and then along the bottom. And then for this one, let's do a few over here, and then we're going to bring a few in here. And we're going to go around to the other side. Like that. Then we're going to add C0. So I'm going to go up here, start up here at the muffs. We're going to do a few up here. And I also do them right over the top of the last color. So it kind of softens those out. And we're just going to dot, dot, dot. And then you can leave it like that, or you can take your colorless blender and you can just lightly swipe over the top of all the dots. Try not to get it out on any of your other colors, and that will soften those dots even further, or you can just leave them the way they are. So there's our Jenny all colored up. Didn't she turn out great? And then again, here is my finished card. So there is nothing popped up on here this time. I know. I don't know what I was thinking. So I also did some, for her hair, I of course put my Spica glitter pin in there. I don't know if you can see how shiny. It's got some little bit of glitter on there. This would be really cute if you added some glitter to her little fur accents on her coat. I think that would be really pretty. But on these little snowflakes up here and right here, I did my Wink of Stella brush pen in clear. I painted all over the top of those. See if it's sparkly. But I did that. And those are the brand, one of the brand new La La Land Crafts dies. And what's it called? Large Snowflakes 2. And then this is the new La La Land Crafts die lamppost. Those are both available in the store if you'd like to pick those up. They're very cute. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.